organizing everything as always. Georgia is our careers global coordinator. Alessia is our entrepreneurship global coordinator too. I'm the head of department of careers, alumni entrepreneurship center here in GBSB Global. Okay, you are guys in the GASP program. You are in a GASP event. What does it mean, GASP? It's our GBSB Global Guest Alumni Speaker Program. And what we do in the GASP sessions, we invite interesting profile from you guys, alumni that have interesting things to share with us. Interesting things about basically, let's say, your personal and professional journey. Okay. Today it's our second session. We already have one GASP session last month with Grace Ireland. Was very interesting profile with also a powerful African entrepreneur woman. Alumni, of course, GBSB Global alumni. And today we are very happy to have Julia. Julia Holewa, it's GBSB Global alumni from 2020, right, Julia?
Yes, exactly.
MA in Communication and Future Marketing.
Correct.
So Julia has a lot of interesting things in her profile. Okay, you will guess about it. We will let her introduce herself, but let me just announce that she has, let's say, both the kind of corporate experience, entrepreneurial one. And one of the things that I like most from her is that I feel the entrepreneurial mindset, okay, in her attitude to face challenges. Okay. Julia has started her own project into work. She's gonna explain us things about it, right? But also, I would say that one of the things that I like also most that you explain in your profile is you define you yourself as a collaboration consultant, right? Please tell us a little bit about more, okay? Because it's not obvious being a collaboration consultant, then you will understand. And also, I like when you say one of your mottos is that you love a structure that liberates, right? And and what else? Communication, no, collaboration that I should check that in your LinkedIn profile. But well, you are just trying to boost this collaboration and team building and team creation, right? So, Julia, please, the floor is yours. Thank you for accepting our invitation today, and let's do this session in a kind of let's say not constrained way. Let's be all free to ask, to intervene, to share our thoughts with each other. Okay, so let's start with your introduction, your presentation, Julia, and explain us a little bit. Yes, please, your professional journey so far from the corporate, entrepreneurial, your project you are creating, everything, please.
Sure. First of all, thanks for inviting me. I think it's a nice idea, this whole concept of the GASP and, providing some career insights to fellow students and fellow alumni. I think that's a great thing to do. Honestly, back then when I was, especially in undergrad and in my bachelor's studies, that's what I have always missed, like people just talking freely about their journey and not just saying, how to get to A, B, C. That's not really what resonates with a young person or with any person, actually. So I hope that I can, live up to that idea. So I'm, making it personal today and not trying to bore you with, details that might not resonate with your life. But I will start maybe with a little personal introduction. I have already said it in the beginning, but some of you haven't been here yet. I'm living in Hamburg in Germany. I'm originally from Hamburg, Germany as well. So born and raised here. I then went to another city for my studies, came back, went again, came back. So it's kind of like the theme of always returning to this hometown here. I'm 31 years old. And yeah, I mean, personally, maybe that's like the broad context of what my path has been and maybe probably will be. I'm not very much of a super traditional person, I would say. I'm not like a very like chaotic all over the place, I do what I want person either, but it's just like I have always been interested in really trying to find a way that suits to me and that feels like something that I want to do, and all the big questions like what is life, what am I supposed to do, how does that work, how can I choose. I never really had a clear idea of what my job would be. I have had many friends, growing up saying I want to be a doctor or I want to be this and that, and I never really had that. And it took me some time to first of all accept that I just don't have that clear idea, and second of all make it work and put it into action, what this journey of finding out can look like. And it all started like professionally, it just started classically with a bachelor's program. I went to Mannheim, which is a smaller city in the southwest of Germany, for media and communication science. It's a rather broad studies program, and back then I didn't really had any expectations of it, really. I mean, I was young, I wanted to study, all the things. And I came back and I realized, 3 years of bachelor studies didn't really help me understand what I was supposed to do. So I was starting an apprenticeship, which is a program. Similar programs exist in different countries as well, but I think apprenticeship is the correct term for that. It's like a 2-year learning program where you're actually not like a full-time worker, but you're still learning, still taking classes and having then like a separate certificate kind of thing. And in Germany, it's very uncommon to do that after you go to university. That's just, it's not forbidden, right? But it's not what people do. But I was like, but I don't know what else, and I want to do it this way. I don't know. It's what else am I supposed to do? So I did that, and I think it was the first move into the direction of, okay, I want to find out how this works for me. Like I have to do it for me, right? I have to figure out what my job will gonna be. And I was lucky because I started in a small digital agency here in Hamburg, and they developed me professionally like a lot, and I had a very good time and was working in project management and account management in the beginning. And then I realized I really actually saw all the strategists from afar, and I was like, oh, I want to do what they do. It was like this observing, mirroring thing, and I was like, okay, I want to become a strategist and I want to go more into the direction of strategy. So internally I transitioned in the company and I became a strategist and worked on communication strategies, campaign strategies, but also projects around change communication, like communication in general, right? And then was, after a few years, again that point of, okay, so what's next and what am I actually trying to do and trying to become? And I applied for the master's program in Barcelona. So I have worked for 4.5 years at this point, and I went abroad again to Barcelona to do my master's degree, where I also had the internship at the same time at a startup. That's really where my focus was going. Like I wanted to try out basically also like the startup life, right? I'm just always have been fascinated by different things, and I try to allow myself to actually try out, right? So, okay, startup it is. And it was obviously a perfect fit with the GBSB program because it was so focused on the whole entrepreneurial thing. And the teams, I worked with 2 teams because they shared, the founders collective had like 2 separate startups. For me, it was one team. and really got into the whole dynamic of startups. And I loved it. I mean, there's obvious, negative points about that. There's no perfect setting, neither corporate nor startup, but I liked the energy and I liked the dynamic and I liked all the options you have really when you work in a startup. And it was 2020, so Andre can remember it was a year where we were a little bit restricted in having the perfect abroad experience. So after the year and after graduating, I decided to come back to Hamburg. It was, I mean, I kept my options open of staying in Barcelona. I always wanted that, but it was just not the year, privately, personally, with my family and stuff. So I returned and really